I am not a huge Kevin Durant fan. I think the Knicks didn't offer him a contract. I think the Knicks were stupid. Kevin Durant right now is the best player in the NBA. It's not even an argument. Anybody that argues that is an idiot. He averages more points than any player in the league. At his position, I think he averages just as much rebounds as anybody in the league. He's averaging more assists than he ever had in his career, which is 5.8 assists a game, which is almost 6 assists, the same as Steph Curry, okay, who is right there with him. Right now, Kevin Durant is the MVP of the league. That's not what I really want to even get into about how good the Brooklyn Nets are playing right now. They've been unstoppable, hilariously good. And when I say hilariously is because last night Atlanta tried to stay in the game, and we know what our best friend over there likes to do. He likes to cause trouble, and he likes to open his big mouth. And even open his big mouth to Kevin Durant outplayed him. So it just shows you how good Kevin Durant is and how talented he is. But he was on a show, All of Smoke, Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson's show. And I've been saying this over and over again. When Kevin Durant went to the Golden State Warriors, it was Kevin Durant, then the Golden State Warriors. It was never Golden State, then Kevin Durant. It wasn't Steph Curry's team. It was Kevin Durant's team. And nobody ever added him or even said that he was a Golden State Warrior. They never even said he's a Golden State Warrior. Everybody kind of looked on the outside, and that's why I think he left Golden State. I think nobody gave him the respect that he was part of that team. Meanwhile, who won the 2 MVPs when they went to the finals and won the championship? Kevin Durant did. It wasn't Steph Curry, it wasn't Klay Thompson, it wasn't Draymond Green or any of these guys. So I pulled out a clip, and I want you to hear this. It shows you why people didn't respect Kevin. I think the reason why he left to Brooklyn.
Always, to me, KD and the Warriors. It was never the Warriors. Mm-hmm. Kevin Durant's a part of that team.
And I was looking at it, I was like, hold up. So D West came the same time I came, but he's a Warrior, and I'm not. Makes no sense. JaVale McGee, same way. Like, he's a Warrior. Like, Ian Clark, he was there before me, but he left. He didn't win the second championship with us, but he's like, it didn't make no sense to me. And I'm like, the media is just trying so hard to separate this thing, and I was just like, for what? Like, you didn't do that with LeBron and D-Wade and Bob. Like, you didn't do that with those guys. You didn't do that with KG and Paul Pierce, and you didn't try to separate them. It's like, oh, why are you trying to separate me from the rest of the team? Mm-hmm. And you actually are making this your job. Your duty to do so is to push this narrative every day. People call me wild for calling it out, but I'm just like, no, I think it's corny.
You heard it in his own words. Nobody ever gave him the respect when he was a Golden State Warrior. Nobody compared him. Nobody said he was a Golden State Warrior. The press really took shots at him because he jumped ship. He left OKC. He should have never left OKC. I think OKC would have won a championship with Westbrook. They were a game away or 2 games. They were three.
They were a 3-1 lead, yeah.
If they went to the finals that year, they would have won the championship.
Yeah, if the league actually suspended Draymond Green when they should have, initially the Thunder probably win that series. And, they could very easily beat Cleveland.
Yes. He never won a championship with OKC. If he did win a championship with OKC, who knows? Him and Westbrook would probably still be in OKC right now. But now he's playing with Harden again in Brooklyn, and he's trying to win a championship with another team, something that many players have ever done, win championships with 2 separate teams. But when you look at Kevin Durant and you look at the talent that he is, there's nobody in the league right now playing as well as him. And I think he's the MVP. It's not even close, okay? I don't want to hear Steph Curry. I don't want to hear any of the players that you're mentioning to try to compare and contrast of what they're doing. Steph Curry is playing on a team that they're in first place right now. They're back and forth with Phoenix. They're a talented team. Anybody that's going to sit here and tell me Steph Curry is the only good player on that team is ridiculously stupid. They have a lot of talent on it. Andrew Wiggins is no shoo-in. This guy was the number 1 pick in the draft 6-7 years ago. Draymond Green is one of the best two-way players in the NBA, and he's playing great basketball right now. They have talent on both sides of the ball. They're playing great. And by the way, they're getting Klay Thompson back next week. So I don't want to hear about Steph Curry. Now, everybody's going to say you hate Steph Curry. I don't like him, but I can't take away his talent. I can't take away how special he is as a three-point shooter. Do I think he's one of the greatest point guards of all time? I think it's ridiculous. There's a post right now of him, Ray Allen, and Reggie Miller. I think those 3 are the best three-point shooters, and Pistol Pete are the best three-point shooters of all time. Pistol Pete never played with three-point.
Yeah, we'll never know unless they do some kind of like era-adjusted thing.
I think that if he played with a three-point, I think Pistol Pete was one of the
and
greatest.
Maybe that data will become available.
Yes.
What would have happened with certain distance shots, because the NFL did it with sacks before the pre-sack era, and now that's since 1960. So
one of the best ball handlers.
Yeah, so maybe the NBA will do the same.
Pistol Pete was one of the best ball handlers of all time, too. I mean, Jason Williams talks about him. people try to mimic him and what he did when he was in the league and how talented he was. It's just a shame that he did have a long-lasting life in the NBA and practically died on the basketball court. But you look at Steph Curry. Steph Curry's special, okay? There's no question that he is. I would say he's more of a 2 than he is of a 1. He's not a point guard. If you want to say he's the greatest 2, he's not. Michael Jordan's the greatest 2. I'd say if you want to say he's better than Dwayne Wade or Kobe Bryant, then
I don't even know about that, though. I wouldn't take him all-around game, no.
Steph Curry is in the top 10. It's not taking a shot at him. He's just not. But going back into the Brooklyn Nets, they're going to pull away in this division. They started the season off very slow. They're figuring themselves out right now. Kyrie Irving will be back this year. I do believe Kyrie Irving will step on the courts. And when they get Kyrie Irving back, I don't think anybody's going to beat him. I thought last year was the year for them. Kevin Durant's on another level right now. He's playing on another level. He wasn't on that level. Last year in the playoffs he was. Right. He wasn't playing as well as he's playing right now. Kevin Durant has a whole nother objective to winning a championship this year in Brooklyn and in New York, and really to knock the New York Knicks out of the limelight. I don't think it will, but this is a Brooklyn team made to win, and made to win now. You brought LaMarcus Aldridge back, who's playing good basketball right now. They're getting good bench play from some of these young players. I mean, they're fun to watch. The Brooklyn Nets are fun to watch. There's a team in New York that isn't fun to watch right now, and that's the Knicks. I'm so tired of listening to Julius Randle's name get brought up in conversation. Julius Randle took less money this offseason. He did, and I give him a lot of credit. He could have taken more money somewhere else. He could have played somewhere else. Nobody would have made him their number 1 option. Nobody. He was a number 3 option on any other team, maybe a number 2 if he played for the Pelicans or somebody like that. He is not a number 1. In my eyes, he's not a number 2. He took less money because the Knicks could bring in another superstar to play with some of the players, but he's nothing but a bricklayer. He's an isolation player. He reminds me of a lower grade Carmelo Anthony, and what I mean by lower grade, he's not Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Anthony was one of the most dominant offensive players in the league at one point, especially when he was on the Knicks. He won the scoring title with the Knicks. He was a dominant force. He is not Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Anthony never laid up bricks like this man does, okay? You could build a wall on the bricks that this guy shoots up, all right? He's not the player that Knicks fans like and stand behind. He's not a closer. He's not that player that you could give him the ball at the end of the game. We saw that against Atlanta. We saw that in the playoffs. We saw that at the end of the season last year. We're seeing it now. He gets the ball. He can't hit the shot. He can't hit a foul shot. How many air balls have we seen this year from him? I mean, come on. And Kemba Walker, I love Kemba. He's my favorite player. He's done. As an NBA player, maybe as a backup, going to a championship team like the Lakers, or goes to Phoenix and be the backup of Chris Paul maybe or something, or the third option for Chris Paul.
Yeah, actually might not be bad.
Yeah. I think that would fit for Kemba Walker. He doesn't fit on this team. He doesn't play defense. He's just not the same player he once was. And they lost his job to a bench player. Burks is not even a point guard. He's more of a 2. Burks has been handling the ball. He's been starting. And Derrick Rose has been coming off the bench.
Right.
And you can't win with Burks running your point as your number 1 option. You just can't. And Derrick Rose could be the number 1 option, but he's better off the bench. So if you're a Knicks fan, there's nothing to be happy about. But, I mean, the only thing you could sit back and hope is that this team plays better basketball and gains a little bit of momentum as the season progresses, because if they don't, this team is going to slowly but surely be a lottery team. We expected the lottery team to be Charlotte. Yeah. So it's a terrible season right now, and this is supposed to be a good draft, by the way.